focus up more on... I don't know. Maybe stretch my back more.
Can you feel it? Deep inside this temple lies the greatest power our ancestors ever wielded.
You vile traitor!
How weak have the Amani become? No wonder Zul'Jin sought my guidance.
What have you done with my brother?
Ulathic's power will be mine.
Why are you doing this?
To build the Amani Empire that grandfather envisioned, not one that grovels to trickster spirits.
The Loa look after us!
The Loa failed us!
I know it hurt, Zul'Jin, when your sister was chosen to lead. But you don't have to stay in her shadow. Break the seal. The Lord, the elves, and the world itself will tremble before the Amani Empire.
Yeah, I'm alright, folks, mate. Right, that was awful. That was actually bad. Like, a lot of the shots that... This entire video just feels like someone trying to show off cinematography skills. Or choreographing, or whatever the hell you called it. What was the storyline of the trailer? Well, if you didn't know what was going on, you'd have no clue. I have an idea. Because I followed the story. Yeah, crazy, I know. And this is the most in-depth lore description I can give you. You ready? Zul'Jin is angry that the Loa didn't help the Amani Empire in the days of Zul'Jin, his granddad, who he killed back in Cataclysm. So now, he hates the Loa. Zul'Jin is the boy troll, yes. Zul'Jara is the woman troll, who's the chieftain of the Amani. Zul'Jin has been tricked by Malakrast, the high priest we also killed alongside Zul'Jin. But Malakrast has, well, spooky the mask, and so he's back. And influencing Zul'Jin. Yes, very convenient. He just happened to be lying dormant all this time. And, yeah. Very convenient he appeared right after Orwenja showed Zul'Jin that the Amani didn't win their battle against the old gods alone, but in fact used a Loa called Ulathec. So, Zul'Jin's way of showing that the Amani don't need any Loa is to reject all the Loa and accept Ulathec, a Loa. I'm not kidding. And for those who may say, no, he is a creature plucked from the Rift of Aun. Like, bro, the trolls go call anything a Loa with significant power like this. Let's watch this back. Let's watch this back and analyze it bit by bit.
Can you feel it? Deep inside this temple.
No hype.
The greatest power.
The
our
greatest power.
ancestors ever wielded.
Wow. The greatest power your ancestors ever wielded. That is crazy to hear. Now, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, that ain't much. Remember in vanilla, we dealt with Hakkar multiple times. And you want me to be scared of Ulatek with zero hype? Absolutely nothing built up around him aside from the fact that he helped the Armani fight off old gods, which, by the way, we've got to killed the actual old gods themselves, not their armies. No, it's not really the same thing because the classification of a lower is, it's just weird. It's not like something, it's just, oh, it's a lower. Like, I think Cenarius could technically count as a lower, if I understand the definitions correctly. I don't think it is I don't think it is a troll lower, but it's like any sort of wild gods or whatnot. Or similar, because Bonsandri's not a wild god, but he is still a lower. But it's sort of something just incredibly powerful and not exactly mortal. Gahun was just artificial.
You vile traitor!
So, why Malakras is just back? I kind of don't quite get that. He just shows up as a plot point. Also, can I just say, I have zero hype for this. Blizzard have done a terrible job in making this even somewhat interesting. In my opinion, this could have been a much more interesting season if there was no Ulatek, Zul'Jin came, and this island wasn't filled with mystical poison waters, which is dumb, by the way. Like, this isn't leaking out into all the waters, and we can't see this island already. But no, if they just made it so that, like, Zul'Jin took a section of the Armani, took over this island, made it a new Armani stronghold, and we just had a militaristic campaign vying for who becomes the chieftain. Of course, it seems we're backing Zul'Jin. That'd have been more interesting. Crims thinks the guy with the mask is the big man Bonsandri. No, it's Malakras. No, it's the priest Malakras. He's the raid boss in Zulaman. We killed him in Cataclysm. And yeah, no, he's yeah, it is just Malakras. It's confirmed to be Malakras. It's not Bonsandri. Sorry to crush your hopes, but it's Malakras.
Weak have the Armani become. No wonder Zul'Jin sought my guidance.
What have you done with my brother?
Look at this.
What have you done with my brother?
Look at this delayed. Like, hey ChatGPT, make me a trailer for Curse of Ulatek. You can't convince me that, like, there's a reasonable amount of staff working on this. Also, what is the music behind this trailer? Like, what does this music have to do with Warcraft at all? See, this is how bad WoW's gotten, where the trailers can only just show, like, sort of combat things and be like, there's raid, there's dungeons, there's delves. So not story? No PvP? No, nothing grand in the open world? Like lairs as well. They're selling lairs as a new feature, which is effectively, for those who don't know, is your world boss is now in an instance and has 3 difficulties. That's a new feature. Yeah, imagine PvP. Imagine PvP! Oh, it has 4 difficulties. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah, no, there we go. I have misrepresented the entire patch. Okay. 1 new dungeon. Woo! Ulatek's power will be his. Whoa! What does that mean? He's gonna summon Ulatek. Ulatek's gonna go... and then Zul'Jin dies and turns into a puddle of acid, and then we kill Ulatak in the temple, then that's going to be the end of this side quest, which is an entire patch, in the middle of a moment where we've just seen thousands and thousands, was it millions and millions of void creatures get pushed through the dark well, underneath fucking Silvermoon, to get to Azeroth's core, to corrupt it, and turn it into the very thing that Sargeras created the Burning Legion to go and destroy the cosmos for. This makes no sense. What hype? Ian would scream. Ian would be I mean, who? Ian, you may not want me playing Demolog, but I don't want you directing this game. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, fam? Head screwed on. I thought you prided yourself as being like an elite raider and whatnot. I don't know. At least some. Nah, I don't know. What is this limp content?
Why are you doing this?
To build the Amani Empire that grandfather envisioned, not one that grovels to tricksters.
Can I just say, what empire does he hope to build when the Armani are... The trolls are a decently populated race in Azeroth, yeah? In the grand scheme of things. But then they're divided to all these little tribes. And each tribe, yeah, a standalone tribe, is less than all the other race, like, lesser forces than every other race in Azeroth. And the Armani is one of the smaller tribes. What empire are you ever gonna have? I know I'm British and, like, point my own history, but no. No happening. And then to top it all off, you're divided. Like, wow. And even then, what Armani supporters does he have? Who's backing him? It just seems like he's on a solo. He has got a quest from Malakras, sorry, and he's just doing the quest line. I should go to BlizzCon and ask them lore questions. No. Why would I want to go? Why would I want to pay Blizzard more money when this is the slot they're giving me? I would not buy a BlizzCon ticket when this is the slot that I get for buying, and I already buy like the epic editions of expansions like an absolute fool. Paid my sub for God knows how many years now. Focus on the first stuff. He's getting important. No one. Like, gear does not matter. Progress on bosses matters. We can get gear when we re-clear. Mythic cutting edge first, then we get gear. Anyway.
The lower look after us.
The lower failed us.
Oh, he's having a temper tantrum. Can I also, like, genuine question, like, what exactly does he feel the lower failed him in? Like, the lower refused to go Zul'Jin, so Malakras and his priests manipulated the lower, stole their powers, used their powers and lost. Therefore, even if the lower did side with them, how's that gonna help? I don't get it, mate. It makes no sense. And also, what threat is he under where he thinks he needs an attack? There's no Armani Empire. And then, instead of being under threat, the elves are like, alright, let's be homies. But nah. Dem lower a bitch. Troll who I forgot the name of already. Yo. Also, wow. Can we just take a moment to notice that before we're getting anything meaningful story-wise, or any meaningful open world content announcement, any meaningful PvP announcements in World of Warcraft, not even like we're getting any profession talk as well in the craft, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that was a dumb sentence for me, because fishing is a profession. But why I'm annoyed. I can't believe I'm paying for this. New delves. Yep. That's what I'd expect. So, let's just remember, new feature, except they put a world boss inside an instance. And gave it 4 difficulties.
I know it hurt, Zuzhan, when your sister was chosen to lead. But you don't have to stay in her. When your
Wait.
sister was chosen
Oh, but I thought that was an orc on the left for a minute.
have to stay in her shadow. Break the seal.
Like, this music is just so weird. This doesn't sound Warcraft at all. This sounds like they've just gone to AI and be like, yo, give us a soundtrack, thank you.
The Lord, the elves, the world itself will tremble before.
The next thing I had to ask, why are there Tortolan here? Is it because when Blizzards went to ChatGPT and said, oh, we have a raid with trolls and snake people, what can we do? Hello Blizzard, I am ChatGPT. You had a zone called Vol'dun with trolls and snake people. There were also Tortolan there. Let's put evil Tortolan in the new raid. Like, this is silly.
Tremble before the Amani Empire.
Turtle made it to the Venom Knight. Yeah, so, I'm sorry, but it wasn't just meant to tell me what new content there is. Now, as far as I'm concerned, world bosses already exist, delves already exist, raids already exist, dungeons already exist. So, what's new? The island? What can we do on the island? Sounds to me like nothing. Anything new for professions? Doesn't look like it. Anything new for PvP? Doesn't look like it. That's the law reason they're a raid boss, because they're being mind controlled by a troll. That's insane. New raids. Well, what? I'm also gonna say, from what I've seen of the raids, it doesn't even look like there's a single new mechanic. So, we've already had this before. Delve. We've had delves, like, delves, yeah, we've already had that. New housing endeavors. Who cares? They're bad at the moment. New PvP season. Okay. Weird how that's a justification for, like, a new content, like, I don't know. What? It's a weird thing to put on Blizzard's side. We get that all the time. Why aren't we getting new content? Like, I don't know. There looks to be nothing new. It's not even like they've announced any new praise or anything. You know, for shiny new system, they added this expansion. Nothing to do with praise. So, no praise, no world content, no new arenas or battlegrounds or something. Nothing to do with the open world, it sounds like. From what I gather, we've got a 5-chapter campaign, and we've already done 1 chapter. Okay, so they don't advertise the new praise stuff. It's easier to satisfy many with M+ and PvE stuff than the 5 people playing PvP, but it's not 5 people, right? It's like, would it go down to 100k? Well, it's still north of 100k. While it's been incredibly neglected. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. I'm just saying, it's like, I get the joke, but the PvP population is still pretty strong. And let's be real, these dungeons are probably more made for the people who want to push Mythic Plus. I'm gonna argue that's a lesser player base. That's a much lesser player base. Most of your Mythic Plus population are people being forced to do it because they need gear. It's more the principle of, like, a new arena kind of just means, okay, at least they're, like, trying to do something. It is just flavor. Sometimes, you know, it can actually be kind of interesting. Dungeon pool looks terrible, yeah. Yeah, it does. But yeah, like, this isn't a content patch. This is... Yo, Rocky, my god. Small streamer support, we love it. Yeah, like, this is as much of a content patch as just saying, like, oh. Yeah, we've extended the new season by, well, we've extended this season by 5 months. We've reset your boss progress, IO, CR, and we've upped the gear item level so you can grind up again. They might as well just send me back in quad than us. They might as well just keep me running the same 8 dungeons as we got this season. Like, I just find this egregious. This is an MMO. They constantly hemorrhage the player base of this game. They appeal to a target audience which doesn't need appealing to. 37 new mounts. Oh my goodness gracious me. How many mounts are in the game? How many do we have these days? Isn't it over 1,500 now? I'll be really high. Yeah, they binned off battle pets. Which I find hilarious. They finally couldn't be bothered to do battle pets anymore. 17 of them are just recolors. That's crazy. 1,300? Okay. So we're getting, like, what is it? So like 3% increase in mounts in the game? And they're all like crappy recolors? The pet, no, you don't have to bring it back because it's still going. It's evergreen content. If you want to play that pet battle dungeon, you can just go and play it. Oh. Mate, you're getting more pulls on the Voidstorm rare mount than you are on Lura. That's crazy. New mounts in the trading post. The trading post is so bad. Honestly, let's put the jokes aside and be 100% real for a moment. All this flowery, friendly, neighborly, civilian type shit in a game which was founded on orcs and humans battling for survival. The orcs trying to claim a new world where they could live because the old one was torn asunder. The humans trying to defend their world because the orcs were trying to conquest it. Thus being mortal enemies. And then eventually that same sorts of principles expanding out, being full-blown faction wars, all the while there being ever-looming threats which would go and fight the player base, or fight each faction, with canonically a singular faction clearing these raids, not the factions teaming up, but canonically one or the other clearing these raids, and then still going to war at the gates of these raids. Yeah? This is what the game has become. When you took the war out of Warcraft, you get everyone running around in, like, dresses and miniskirts and flowers on their heads, fighting what is meant to be some eldritch snake god, which in reality has no really decent plot reason for even showing up here. Because there's the ever-looming threat of the fact that the world is just going to get turned into, well, a big void titan or whatever, like, it is meant to be. The whole thing that Sargeras saw of the void fully corrupting a world and almost claiming the world's soul, which drove the whole plotline of the Burning Legion, which has been core to this game from the get-go. Yeah, we're just gonna ignore that, despite the fact we know that, and we're gonna go deal with snakes. Like, you're telling me that this is something important to do, but while stuff like the Scarlet Crusade were going about rebuilding, doing stuff like this, not a side quest we need to care about, while the undead are literally ravaging the Plaguelands still, just don't need to care about that, and the ravaging Northrend, do just remember that the Ebon Blade are currently in a constant war against the undead Scourge in Northrend, have been since the end of Shadowlands, as those of you who like the stay a while and listen dialogues would know. Like, no, we're just ignoring all of that. We're pretending this game has been about teaming up and friendship and whatnot. Whereas in reality, it's only been, well, more recent times when everyone has been saying this game has been getting worse, by the way, including the PvE Andys who don't like PvP, who have been saying, yeah, cross-faction, yeah, we don't need the factions to be at war with each other, yeah, we've teamed up all the time. And yet they still say the game gets worse. This is slop. This is slop. Anyway, reaction done.